Hello, wonderful listeners. Sandy here with another Power Pop. Last week, I was talking with a woman who said she spent her entire lifetime trying to please others. She had good parents, but they had high expectations, and she always tried to be the perfect child in order to meet those expectations and feel loved and appreciated. And then she married a man who wanted to mold her into being exactly what he thought she should be. After years of that relationship, she divorced him and married another man who is narcissistic and thought her sole purpose in life was to shine a light on him and do anything he wanted. She finally divorced that man and is now at the age of 60 for the first time in her life on her own where she can be true to herself. The challenge is she doesn't know who that is. After all these years of people pleasing and doing whatever other people wanted in order to earn love and appreciation. This is a challenge a lot of people face. Many people spend years or decades shaping themselves around what others expect. You might have learned to stay agreeable, quiet, adaptable, just to keep the peace. Sometimes when you did that, it earned approval or even ensured your safety if you were with a violent person. But eventually, the question surfaces about who am I when I'm not trying to meet everyone else's needs? And this is where my friend was. It's important to know that people pleasing isn't a personality flaw, it's a survival strategy and often develops from growing up in critical, demanding, or unpredictable environments where expectations are very high and love and appreciation are slow to come. Sometimes you're made to feel responsible for other people's emotions, and if they're upset, they blame you. So you try to avoid conflict or rejection and look for love by being cooperative, easy, helpful, and selfless. When this happens, over time, your wants, preferences, and boundaries become blurry because you learn to ignore them. So when you want to rediscover who you are, you have to slowly reverse that previous habit. If you want to reclaim yourself, like my friend does, you first have to notice where you lost yourself. Start by identifying the situations where your identity became tied to approval. Ask yourself questions like, when do I say yes even when I want to say no? Whose opinions matter more than my own? And what do I automatically do to avoid disappointing others? Awareness is the foundation for your change. And then pay attention to your actual preferences. People pleasers, like my friend, often don't know what they generally like, only what other people want. So if you want to rediscover who you are, begin with small, slow questions. What foods do I enjoy when no one else is choosing? What music, shows, hobbies do I like? How do I like to spend my mornings or my evenings or weekends? What is fun for me? What makes me feel good? These small preferences reconnect you to your inner voice and to who you really are. And then practice setting boundaries. Simple steps like saying, let me get back to you on that, instead of feeling you have to give an answer. Or, I can't today, but thanks for thinking of me. Or, I'd prefer to do it this way, or maybe not this time. Boundaries reveal who you are because they reflect what you value. And it's important to connect with your values because they're the compass to your true identity. Explore questions like, what qualities do I admire in others? What makes me feel proud? What do I want more or less of in my life? And what drains me or what energizes me? Your values probably include being creative, honest, independent, connecting with others, being reliable, responsible, and respectful. Your life will feel more aligned when your choices honor these values. And then listen to your emotional signals because your emotions tell you what matters to you. Pay attention. When you're feeling sad, it means you've lost part of yourself or things didn't work out the way you wanted. When you're relaxed and happy, it means things are going your way and you're doing exactly what you want. When you're frustrated, it means that things aren't working out the way you want and you're having trouble finding a way to turn that around. When you pay attention to your emotions, it helps you understand your real self beneath the people-pleasing patterns. And then realize as you're working on this that you're going to be uncomfortable because you're out of your comfort zone. When you break lifelong habits, you might feel guilty or selfish or awkward or wrong. But what's really happening is you are pushing your comfort zone to discover who you really are. And then create a self narrative. Try writing things like, I am someone who values, and then fill in the words. I want my life to feel like, and then fill it in. I no longer want to live in this way, and then fill that in. I'm learning to be the person who, and then fill that in. Give yourself permission to rewrite the story you were handed. and create the person you are and want to move ahead being. Then build a life that reflects you. As your sense of self becomes clearer, decisions will start aligning with who you truly are. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. Invest time in interests you genuinely enjoy. Choose work, hobbies, and relationships that match your values and where you feel comfortable and happy. And choose routines that support your energy instead of draining it, because your identity becomes real through action. So the bottom line is finding yourself after a lifetime of pleasing others is not about becoming selfish. It's about self-care and becoming whole. You're not abandoning people, you're including yourself. Your real self isn't lost, it's just been quiet. With patience, small acts of honesty, and consistent self listening, you can uncover who you've always been beneath the roles, expectations, and masks. And that discovery is one of the most meaningful journeys you can ever make. So I support my friend and anybody out there who is such a people pleaser that you have lost yourself, and hope that you will reclaim your identity and be the amazing person that you are.